Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Okay, so the call got dropped because Teams has a limit that continuously you can continue for 1 hour or so. I think I forgot that limit, so that's why. Um, anyway, so we will continue now. So the point I'm trying to make here is the way how it increments from the right side is that it is skipping. If you compare it with this, okay, ideally it's starting at G first letter, but it's because the indexing, there is a variation of indexing from the left side and the right side. From the left side it is at 0, from the right side it is at -1. Okay, because of that variation it's not able to, we are not able to get the same reverses. Okay, ideally if you want to get the same exact reverse just like this, you'll have to change the increment value. Okay, so if you print, instead of printing, if you print 1, okay, you, if you print not 1, not okay, let's just say 2. Let's see. Okay, so I think the way increment is working is not getting us a reverse. Anyway, so if just remember this point, so if you want to access elements from the negative direction, okay, you will not get the same value as what you increment from the left side than as compared to the right side. Okay, only for this is the exception. So if someone asks you to reverse a string in such a way that you pass a batch value also and compare it with something that has batch value, so just remember that they are not going to be equal. Okay, and yeah, so that is what I wanted to show here. Okay, so I will alter this. Indexing starts at 0 from the left side. Okay, um, again this is applicable from left side, right? Ideally, okay, I will remove it. I'll modify it later. Where before I will think about it and modify and give it to you before I give it to you as a notes. Okay. Um, okay. Now this was all about indexing. Slicing is nothing but it's also the same thing. I think we already did the slicing part. Indexing is incrementing one value at a time. Okay. And slicing means getting these values in chunks. Basically, if you want to access only the good part, okay, so I will start from 0, type it 5, okay, I will get good. Sorry, 4 letters. Okay, so even though indexing is starting at 0, okay, in order to get the fourth letter, I'll have to specify fifth indexing. Okay, let me write this and explain. uh, okay, here I have good, right? Good, and then I have space, then I have morning. Okay, okay. So now what I'm saying is, because this is zeroth index, this is one index, this is two, this is three. Ideally, if I pass three, I should get D, but that is not is what is happening, right? So I'm passing 4 in order to get this D. So while you index, always remember that in order to get the last element, you instead of passing the third index, you'll have to pass the next index. So in order to get the nth element, okay, you have to pass n plus 1 index. Okay, just remember this much. So that also will be available. Okay. Okay, so this is about it. So till here, did you understand?
Yes, Saleh.
Okay, so you can quickly make a note of this, and we will look at the methods of strings, various methods that are applicable. Once you're done, please let me know. Is it done?
1 minute, Saleh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So
Done.
sure, sure. See, a string is an immutable type. Okay. Please mute yourself. Yasin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So strings by themselves are immutable. Okay. The immutable data types. Now our first method that we are going to see is capitalize. Okay. When you type, I have defined these subjects, two subjects, and I'm capitalizing it. When you capitalize, notice the first letter. Okay, I can also capitalize the second one. Notice the first letter. Only the first letter is capital. Rest everything is in lowercase. Now, capitalize method is used to get a title. Now, this method is applicable. Let's just say you have a database with full list of names. You want to capitalize their first uh, letter of the names. You can apply this. Okay. So capitalize is used only to get capitalize the first letter. In other words, we call it title. Okay. So that is what capitalize is. That's all capitalize. I mean there is nothing much to it. So we'll next one is case fold. Now case fold is interesting. Case swap. Okay. Okay. So caseless is sorry case fold is caseless comparison. Okay. Now see what case fold did. Case fold, what it is doing is it's converting everything into lowercase, and using this we can easily compare various operations. Let's just say if I wanted to compare this subject with this subject, and I wanted to know if they were the same, they were talking about the same thing, same subject as machine learning, how I would do that is by using case fold. I can do that by even converting both of them to lowercase. Okay, that is second option. But we have a direct way to do it by using case fold. For a dedicated method is already given for that, called case fold. And using case fold, you can compare them. Okay, so basically case fold will convert everything into lowercase. That's all case fold is. So subject dot center. This is interesting. Okay. Now center takes two different values. Okay, one is width and what do you want to fill it with. So I already have machine learning, but I want to, let's just say, I want to add some spaces. I want to align it in a proper way, and I will pass align it with spaces. See what you get. You get machine learning, but with lot of spaces on the left side as well as right side. Okay, so center basically takes a width of 100. Okay, this is up until this point is 100, and how you can check that is you can just type len of subject, which will give you the len method is for length, and then you can compare len of this entire thing. So if you compare this, original length was only 16, now the entire length is 100. So basically center is adding extra space and making this machine learning to look like it is in the center. Okay, that's what center is for. Okay, clear, right? You can type it. So these are easy ones. So maybe you can, what you can do is you can just type it as well as observe, because there is nothing rocket science here. Okay, subject, sorry, count. On the other hand, it's a very straightforward, direct thing. Count will count how many times certain string is present, substring is present in this um, overall string. So in machine learning, if I want to count how many times E is present, okay, I'll get two times E is present. Here E is present, here E is present. Okay, that way. If I want to also count how many times IN is present. So 2 times IN is present. IN is present is here and IN is present here also. Yasin, you can mute unless you have something to speak. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So subject, sorry, the count method is used to count basically whatever the things you pass inside it. Okay. So that is count for you. Please keep writing as well as listening. I will go slowly so that you get some time to type as well as observe. So encode by default, I can't show you exactly what it does, but I can explain you. Encode is used, let's just say there are English speaking people across the world, there are Spanish speaking people across the world. Now certain letters in English are different from certain letters, words in Spanish. For example, manzana. Okay, manzana means apple in Spanish. Okay, and there is another word called manana also. I will rather talk about manana. Okay, now this manana, okay, not here, maybe I will talk on here. So see this, in Spanish it is written like this letter N is written like that. Okay, it's called, and the way you pronounce is um, yeah, there is a spelling of yeah, sorry, not this. Okay, okay, not this. Here you have manana. Okay, this I think I pointed to the wrong letter. Okay, now um, so manana means some meaning. Don't worry about the meaning. Okay, manana means some procrastination, something. Okay, um, but the point I'm trying to make is this letter here, although it looks English letter, it cannot be exactly represented in English. Okay, in English max to max you can get manana. That's what you can get. You can't get this manana letter. So for because of these issues, what they have done is they have defined various encodings. Okay, encoding, you have ASCII encoding, which is famous one, which you have already heard of. You have Unicode encoding. Okay, and then you have Latin encoding. You have like this, there are like hundreds of encodings basically for various languages. Okay, now what encoding means is, ideally what encoding is nothing but the way in which the alphabets, numbers, special characters are spaces, along with spaces. We call them white spaces, right? White spaces means new line, tab, four spaces, single space, all of those. So all these are represented with a number. For example, okay, small a, capital A. Okay, I think this is 65 in ASCII. This is 97 in ASCII. So basically, the way how you can make a interpreter or a compiler understand what you are typing is by pre-hand defining that your, when you type, each time you type A on keyboard, interpreter will understand it as 65, convert this 65 into some numbers, uh, zeros and ones, and those zeros and ones numbers are understood by uh, associated lower level language, which is your assembly language code, and that code is converted into move instructions. Okay, um, sorry, these ones and zeros are understood by some assembler, and that assembly byte code or whatever it is understood by CPU. That is how it works, chain of things work. These encodings in ASCII are defined this way. Small letters is 65 or 63. Let me quickly check and confirm. Okay, Yeah, it is 65 only. So like this in Spanish also, this special n is represented with certain number. Okay, we call it Latin. We call it Latin encoding. So encoding is nothing but the way how you assign some numbers to the list of values that we use. All these alphabets, special characters, and all of those. Okay, is this understood? Just the meaning of encoding. Don't worry about what is the value of n and all of that. You can always Google. Um, but did you understand the encoding part at least? Did you follow along? What is encoding? What encoding stands for?
ASCII code I understood, but about Latin I didn't understand.
Okay, in Latin also you have some Latin alphabets, right? In Spanish language, for example, you will have A, you have N. Okay, N. Okay, this N is not captured in English, but it is captured in Spanish letter. For each one of these, for example, I don't know what is the exact value. Let's just say 100. Let's just say this is as 55. Each time you specify the encoding as Latin, what compiler or interpreter will understand is, okay, this letter means 100. I have to translate this to 100 binary representation of 100, and then this will be understood by ultimately CPU. Okay, and interpreted by CPU in that way, basis on this encoding. Encoding is
Okay.
basically used to make compilers or interpreters understand what you are typing. Okay, now when we talk about encode here, basically what you are saying is by default it is in UTF. UTF is your um, Unicode representation of numbers. Okay, um, now if you change it to Latin, ideally it is in UTF. You can also change it to Latin, and you'll get this B indication. B means B is indicating that this has been encoded. Okay, or you can pass this as Unicode, back to Unicode or UTF-8. Sorry. Okay, so B always indicates that the so and so string is associated with certain encoding, not the default one. Okay, because I changed it back from Latin to UTF, it again showing as B because it has been changed. That's what this B is indicating. Otherwise, if you just type subject.encode. Okay, so because it has been changed, it's indicating. Otherwise, you don't get this B. Okay, so just understand that there are various encodings. Encodings are nothing but the way how you represent all your values, ABCD, spaces, numbers, etc., and make compilers understand. Okay, in ASCII, if I change the encoding to ASCII, A would mean interpreter will understand A as 65. But if I change it to UTF-8, it will understand A as something else. If I change it to Latin, it will understand A as something else. Okay, that way. So I can't really show you how encoding will look like, but just understand the concept here. Is this understood? Encoding part is understood? Okay. Okay. Ends with means, let's just say, ends with means you want to check if something is ending with certain letters. Okay. So if I type ends with, if subject is ending with ing, it is ending with ing, so you'll get true value. If you want to check if it is ending with, let's just say ine, it is not ending with ine, but however, I will use the power of indexing here. If I say, what is the index of this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I will pass if the letter 0 and to 7, because in order to get 6, I have to pass 7, that I showed you. Okay, if I pass this indexing and check if it's ending with INE, then you'll get true. Because 0 subject of 0 to 7 is fetching me only machine. I'm saying it does machine end with INE. It is true. Okay, that way. Ends with is used to get the check the last letters. Okay, ends tab I'll talk about it because that also requires a lot of explanation. I'll complete the easy ones first. Now find is straightforward. Okay, find will return you the index where certain string is found. So in the machine learning above, I want to check where is learn present. It will print me the index of first letter where it is found. So till space it was 7, after space it is 8. So it index of letter L is 8. It won't give me the index of complete thing, it will tell me the index of first letter. Okay, so find gives index of first letter. Okay, please type it. Meanwhile, I'll also add a few sentences. Okay, this ends with I recently used in my one of my projects. Okay, um, so this is very helpful. Starts with, ends with. You can write your logic the way you want. So I will cover off all this in one go. Okay, because these are very much straightforward. Um, okay, um, can I continue? Are you able to keep up, or do you need time to write?
Arik, do you share this IPN
Yeah, yeah, I will. I will share this file, Jupyter Notebook, along with PPT, along with recordings. Yeah.
then
See, if you don't want to type, it's
to
okay. But if you type, it will be a practice. That's what the thing is. While typing, when what you learn, you will
right,
remember it for a very long time.
right.
What you learn by seeing what others have done, you will only remember it for only few days, and that too in bits and pieces. But what you type with your own hands or write with your hands, no, that you will remember for a very long time. That is the whole idea of teaching interactively. Okay, so when you use find, okay, it gives you the 8th position at which this learn is found. Index also gives you the same thing. Okay, now the difference is, let's just say I had certain para. Okay, I will take the para from somewhere above. Okay, let's say I had this paragraph. Okay, I had this paragraph. Now in this paragraph I have I have the at 150th 157th position, okay, in the indexing. If you check somewhere here, it should be there here. So this is the 157th indexing, and if you do the index, I think that also will give me same thing. Maybe I'll take a better example to explain. 1 second. um, so the difference is, okay, find is finding where that element is present. Okay, although the first occurrence, okay, but it is finding the element. But here in index it is giving the index, although in this case both will give you the same result, but the difference is in the way how they work. Find will only find certain element. Let's just say I want to find width. um, okay, it is found at this position, right? This position, 5 6 7, yeah, yeah, this position. I think here also I'll get the same thing, but let's just say I write width here. Yeah. And if I type width here, here also if I type, yeah, I mean, the thing is, although in this case they're giving the same result, don't get confused. Index actually gives the index where that certain element is found, but find is not giving you the index, it's actually giving the first occurrence of that element. I'm unable to show you what the difference looks like. um, but if you, let's just say you had lot of files, lots and lots of files, where you wanted to find certain thing, certain element where it is present, you can get the first occurrence of that element within find. But index is not like that. Index is not finding the element, but rather giving you the index value of certain thing. For example, if I type enter I, okay, I'll type I where the I is present. It's present at the 7th element. But if I type same I here, okay, here also it's giving same because it is found here. That's what I'm said. That's what I'm saying. So I'm unable to show you here what the difference looks like, but the way how these two work is, find will find you the actual element, actual substring or string in the entire list of text, but index will give you the index value. Okay, did you understand this? Here the index value of I is 7, that's why it's giving us 7. Find is telling that, okay, I is present here. If I remove, if I add something python something, so this is telling me is present here. Index is giving me index value of this is, which is also 11 only. Is there any confusion here for between find and index? Okay,
No.
Okay, so the way they how they interpret, that is the difference. Okay. Um, let's just say I had another subject called statistics 101, and I want to check if it's alphanumeric. So I'll get true because there is numbers also and there is letters also. But if I check the same thing for the previous one, then also I should get the same thing. I'll tell you why. Okay. Okay, fine. For machine learning, the subject that we had was machine learning, right? Yeah, machine learning. Okay. For subject, because it's not, there are no numbers in it, it's not giving that. Okay. I think is alpha. Okay, that is alphanumeric. I think I also. Okay. So alpha alnum is alnum checks if certain string is has both alphabets and numbers. Alnum checks if it has um, both letters and numbers, but is alpha is not like that. Okay, is alpha will check for only alphabets. In this case, it should give true for both the cases. Why? Because there are alphabets in statistics also, as you can see, and there are alphabets in machine learning also, this subject. Hmm, 1 second, did I modify subject basically? No. Okay, so let me modify this instead. What if I type
What is the meaning of ISA? IAS
is alpha? So we are checking
is alpha.
if
Acha,
it's a
okay.
if it consists of only alphabets. That's what the thing is, because I think
Right, right.
in the subject there is a space, right? Space is not being considered as alphabet. That's why it is giving us false. If you type subject directly, it's giving subject has this, because space is there, it's showing as false. But here we don't have any space, that's why it's giving us true. And here we have numbers, that's why it's saying it is also not alphabet. If you want to check if basically all these is values what you see here are used to check certain things, right? So if your values variables that you use in your code, they have to obey certain rules, that is when you can use this. Okay. um,
Correct.
I remember seeing a different behavior for alpha, that's why I was wondering if it shows, if it checks certain thing, but okay, fine. We'll go with the results. So in this case it should give true. Why? Because everything that you see is a part of ASCII. Okay. um, Subject dot, let me try something. um, just say stats slash n dot, I'm not sure if slash n is part of ASCII. Okay, it is part of ASCII. Okay. um, okay, it is part of, even white spaces are part of ASCII encoding. Okay, so it is giving us true. This is just to check if a certain thing belongs to encoding, ASCII encoding. Okay. Is decimal again is used to check for a number, certain number, some random number. Dot is decimal. And if I type certain float value, it will give me false because this is a float value. So is decimal will check only for whole numbers. Checks if string is a whole number. Here this checks if string belongs to ASCII encoding. Okay. Is alpha checks um, checks if string is alphabet. Okay, this is for both.
Sorry, Adik, sorry.
Yeah.
I understand. I see. I see encoding means
Okay.
it
And sure, that's what I was saying, that in order to represent, in order to make compilers understand what we are typing on the keyboard, there are certain ways of how we encode these values like ABCD 1 2 3 numbers and all. Okay, let me open a new tab and show you. Okay, ASCII encoding. Okay, see, encoding means, let's just say, in English language you have lowercase letters, small abcd to small z, you have uppercase letters, you have punctuation also, and you have white spaces, and you have some non-printable letters like /b. Okay, now the way how you can make your um, compiler or interpreter understand these numbers is by assigning certain values. Let's just say if I assign 0th value to certain key, and 30th value to some certain punctuation, 65 to uppercase letter, 91 to 96 to certain brackets, 97 to lowercase letters. That way you get the idea, right? So what I'm doing is from 0 to 127 I'm assigning certain values to all my letters and keys that are available on my keyboard. So each time I type certain thing, for example, if I type small a, 97 will be sent to the interpreter to understand. So when it's 97, it will understand that it's a small a. Okay, so that it can do the operations. So these type of assignment of values, we call it encoding. And what you see here is ASCII encoding. Okay, American Standard Character encoding, something like that. Okay, so these contents consist of 128 from 0 to 127. Like this we have different encodings like Unicode encoding, which is available. So this is how it converts. This is what I was talking about. What Whenever you type 0 or 1, it will convert it into binary form, and this binary form is sent to the um, CPU to understand. Okay,
right.
so like this we also have Unicode. Unicode adds even more. Okay, earlier from 0 to 128 we saw for ASCII, but for Unicode, see, it adds up to what is this, 11 lakh, 11 lakh 14,111. It goes from 0 to these values, up until these values it will print. From 0 to 127 it accepts ASCII values. From 127 onwards, Latinic alphabets. This is what again I was talking about. See the letter N, it's used for mañana, manzana, something like that. So a lot of words in Spanish are like that. This also is a Spanish. This also is a Latin word, and their pronunciation is not. This is not N. This is Nya. Okay, like Hindi Nya you get, right? So that way Hindi Nya, and this is E is pronounced in a different way. So all these encodings, you see, extra characters are all there. Malayalam, what is this? I don't know, but Malayali alphabet. This is E in Arabic. So this way, various encodings are assigned a certain, various characters are assigned certain value, and when you specify, okay, this string belongs to Unicode, what happens is it will look for these letters. Whatever you type, if you have typed this, it will convert associated value to certain number, and that too, that number is converted again to some binary value which is understood by your CPU. So when we say encoding here is ASCII, what we are checking is whatever you have typed inside this slash t s a, do all these belong to those 0 to 127 list of characters. That is what you are checking, and in this case it is true. Okay, um, any doubt?
No.
Yeah, if I type let's just say character map, uh, 5 character, uh, 5 character. Okay, I just have to copy that symbol. Okay, let's just say this symbol. Where is it? Yeah, this symbol. If I go back and check, okay, I'm telling dot is ASCII. Check if it's ASCII. It doesn't belong to ASCII. Why? Because ASCII consists of only like we saw here in this link. Yeah, like we saw here above, ASCII consists of only small letters, capital letters, some punctuation symbols, these ones, some brackets, some delete symbol, some other brackets, and then punctuation, non-printable characters. So that's all they have. ASCII encoding does not have these special symbols, mathematical symbols. Okay, so that's why it returns false here. It doesn't belong to this. You understood ASCII now?
Yes.
Okay. Is decimal also the same thing? So it will check for only whole numbers. It will not compare for floats. Okay. Is digit?
Right.
We will see what the difference is. Okay. I will take the same example and change to is digit. Okay. So if you see is digit also checking the very same thing, but 1 second. Let me check the. Okay, fine. So, 1 second. I'll tell you the difference. Okay, so very similar to this decimal. Okay, is digit also checks if all the characters are belonging to digits. Digits, you understand, right? Numbers only again. Okay, now what in that case, what is the difference between is decimal and I think my help section is not working. 1 second, I'll tell you the difference also. Okay, so see this e, we have is decimal. Okay, we have is digit, and likewise we also have is numeric. Okay, there is a minor difference between these. Let's see if it works first of all. Yeah, is numeric. Okay, the minor difference is there. The minor difference is Is digit will check if certain, is decimal will check if certain thing belongs to the class of numbers. Okay, only numbers. So this is clear, right? This is whole number. This you don't worry. Okay, if it's float, it will not give you. Is digit, what, how is digit is changing is, if you had special representation of numbers, let's just say, let me print and show you. Okay, so if you had this, okay, some different way of representation basically, and if you check, this is a different representation of numbers. um, Maybe this data was present in images or something. Let me zoom in to make you see that better. Okay, yes sir. So this thing, see, this is 0, this is 3, this is 8, but they are represented in different fonts. Okay, each digit is used to, each digit I would say is a better form of each decimal. Each decimal may give you false for this. We will check for that also. Okay, I will type here only. So this will give you is decimal. So it's giving you false. So basically what the understanding point here is, each decimal will only check the normal numbers, normal looking numbers. Okay, and for this, because it's in different fonts, it is giving you false. So each digit is a better form, better way of checking numbers, because this is checking different fonts also. Here it is giving you true. Okay, that is the difference. Now each numeric is a much advanced version of each digit. Okay, in a sense that if I type is numeric, it will anyway give me true. Okay, it is giving me true, but in additional, if you had certain thing represented as, let's just say, Roman numerals, okay, or fractions. Okay, let me copy this. So if this is a fraction thing, okay, this is this is a sorry, Roman numeral. If I check if this is numeric, it will give me true, because it knows that this value is talking about number. And if I say here, is this a digit, it will give me false, because it is unable to parse this and understand that this is a number. Okay, and if I pass this in is decimal, okay, is decimal, dot is decimal, okay, this also tells me false. Did you understand the difference now? So decimal, digit, and numeric, they all do the same thing. They check if a number belongs to set of they check if a number is I mean, whatever the result string you pass is a number. The difference being, decimal checks only if it belongs to certain fonts, normal looking fonts. It is unable to parse this value. Digit is little ahead of decimal, little advanced version. It is able to parse this and understand that this is a digit. That's why you get true. And numeric is much advanced form of it. Even if you pass Roman numerals or fractions, even fractions for that matter, it is able to understand. Let me add some fraction. Okay, so if I add certain fraction and tell it to parse it is numeric, it should be able to parse it and tell you it is a number. Okay, so 3 different use cases you will get it. Is this clear up until this part?
Yes, yes.
Okay, very good. Now because we are running out of this timer, because there is a times limitation, times only for this week. Okay, from next week we will have one single Teams Connect meeting. We'll go in one go. We don't have to drop and come back. For now, what I would want you to do is, for first week, for today, okay, you do one thing. If you have energy to continue, you take breakfast break from 10 a.m. to 10:30 and come back at 10:30. Okay, 10:30 to 11:30 we will continue, and whatever it is pending we'll see tomorrow. We'll finish this off today, and whatever is pending we'll see tomorrow. So from 10 to 10:30 you take a break, come back at 10:30, and we'll continue here. Okay, understood? I want to stop
Yes,
at
sir.
this point,
Okay, sir.
come back at 10:30, take break from 10 to 10:30.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
But are you, before you go, are you following my teaching? Is there any change required? um, Maybe speed, the way I explain, or any changes? If you're able to understand, all fine, then you don't have to tell me now only. You can tell me separately also if you don't want to say now. Okay, all right, guys.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So just ping me if you have any doubts. I will, let's connect back at 10:30. I will want to stop this here.